Ladies and gentlemen of the wonderful world of Twitch and YouTube, welcome to today's episode of D&D. We are going to be picking up with our wonderful barbarian Novak, who last we saw was in a very precarious position, we'll say. Novak, if you would be so very kind for my sanity to enlighten the world on what you have witnessed in the last campaign.
Let's see, in the last campaign, or the last session,
Thank you. Sorry, wrong word.
yeah, no problem. We were trying to look for that rat that stole the crown. Couldn't find it. A bunch of noise started coming from like underground, we thought. So we ran out. That rat Bob and all his people were actually not rats, they were people and transformed back. It looks like Bob was the only one that made it. Then everyone was trying to escape the land and trying to get to the boats and whatnot. And then we went on a chase because we saw like a blue blur. We saw someone like running away. We chased him to the cemetery and got to this. I think it was right next to a cemetery, right next to a gravestone, and that's when I was transported somewhere else.
I'd say
I'm
that's
sure
a
somewhere
pretty
very
good
safe.
summary. Alright. So, when you got teleported, you heard the flapping of leathery wings. You are still holding on to the semi-seemingly lifeless body of the man dressed in blue that you guys have deducted is probably the owner of the alchemy shop. Now, you guys have made your way through and done everything up to this point fairly smoothly. Very few actual hiccups in the adventure, I would say. But you're definitely starting to feel a little confused at this point. Because the reality is, you have no idea what's going on. You have a general idea of, needing to stop Asmodeus, you need to get stronger, but how? You know that Cord has seemingly blessed your adventure thus far. But you're still not entirely sure what to do. Now you're stuck in this dark room, holding on to sorry, throat's not behaving itself today, unfortunately.
No problem.
Holding on to Tim, and not really sure what you want to do at this point.
And can I see anything in this room? I do have dark vision.
Nope,
Was it still
your
too
dark vision does not seem to be helping you at the moment.
Can I hear anything besides the bat wings?
Roll perception.
Leathery wings.
You don't really hear so much as you feel. There is a slight breeze that seems to be coming from your south.
Is this the guy I'm holding on to? Is he heavy? Is he someone I can kind of drag with me, or?
What's your strength?
16.
16? You would be hard-pressed to do so, but if you tried, you might. He's not
I,
incredibly heavy, so...
I think I want to try to drag him to the south where I furthest feel the wind coming from. Because I really have no other leads.
Yeah, fair enough. Go ahead and roll a strength check to see if you can manage to kind of put him in a fireman's carry, or however you want to carry him.
Could that be athletics or just strength?
I would allow athletics. That would be fine. Absolutely. You throw him up over your shoulder if that's how you would, however you would decide to carry him, you easily
Yeah,
manage to do so.
fireman carry would probably be the best.
Um, so you manage to throw him up over your shoulder in a fireman's carry.
Yeah.
And where is your greatsword at this particular juncture? Is it on your back or?
I'm figuring once I get this man on my shoulders, I'll probably take my great sword out because I'm completely blind right now. Almost use it as like a walking stick to be able to see in front of me.
Okay. Should you encounter any combat, I will give fair warning that with him on your shoulder, any attack rolls would be made at disadvantage.
Okay.
Um,
Would dropping him be in action?
Considering the circumstance, I would say yes.
Okay.
Um, so you're gonna start heading towards where you're feeling the airflow coming from.
Yeah, just kind of slowly make my way, trying not to make too much noise.
Okay.
I'm just not in a rush at all.
Okay. Do me a favor and roll a stealth check to see how well you're doing at keeping it as quiet as possible. And then roll a. You're using your sword as a walking stick. I'd say roll a perception check with disadvantage. Okay. Um, as you start kind of moving your way through in the darkness, you very quickly feel the tip of your sword hit something very hard.
Is it like stone or wood?
It feels very much like stone when you connect with it with the tip of your blade. It very much sounds like if you would have swung your sword at a column or a pillar.
And am I inside or am I outside somewhere, or do I have just no idea?
You have no idea.
Do I still feel air coming from this direction?
Not so much now that you have met whatever this barrier is. You don't feel it. But you notice as you're standing there that now that what you feel is a breeze is not hitting you, it's colder.
Let's see. I'm gonna just try to move down like a different direction. See if is this like a wall or just one column.
If you
If it's a
feel
wall, I'm
around,
gonna try to follow it.
if you feel around, you definitely feel that it is some kind of a stone wall.
I guess for right now, I'm gonna just follow it, just one direction.
Okay. Would you like to go standing facing the wall? Would you like to go to the left or to the right?
I'll go left.
Okay. Uh, I presume at this point you're going to kind of keep your hand or your shoulder to the wall to help make sure you're staying with the wall.
Yeah. I'm gonna just probably. I'm gonna turn left, so my right side of my sword will be against the wall, following it, and just walking towards there.
Okay.
Okay, are we looking for an opening or just seeing where it might go?
Okay. You make it about 10 feet. It's a very short distance. And as you're sitting there with your hand kind of outstretched, feeling at the wall, and your hand breaks that barrier where the wall is, you feel that warm air start to hit your hand again. And there is a opening to your right.
Can I see anything out of it or no? Just feel it.
You can only feel it. It is... something is causing you not to be able to see. It is essentially pitch black.
Um, I mean, how big is this opening? Am I able to fit through there, or is it really tiny?
Uh, if you were to... are you wanting to kind of go in the opening and kind of examine the spacing on it?
I kind of like using my hand, trying to feel if it's like a window size or if it's like a archway, doorway.
You can definitely tell that this is a... reaching your hand out there, you can't feel another wall immediately out within arm's reach.
Then I guess I'm gonna try to go through there.
Okay. As you begin to take a step forward, you feel a warm pressure against your chest, pushing you back. As you feel that warm pressure, and it's very gentle, it's not malicious, it doesn't feel like you're being attacked. You just feel this warm force against your chest, just very gently. It almost feels like a deterrent, but as you're standing there and trying to figure out what's pushing you back, you notice a little bit of light.
And where's the light coming from?
It's coming from the greatsword. The markings of cord that have emblazoned on your greatsword begin to glow a vibrant blue.
I'm gonna hold the great sword up, not in an attacking way, just as like trying to see if I can use it as a light source to see what's in front of me that might be pushing me.
You do not see anything physically pushing you. You still feel that force against your chest, just kind of holding you at bay from that opening. But
I'm gonna back up slightly.
noticing with the light from the greatsword, it's somewhat piercing the darkness that is around you. You can see just a few inches around the blade, and you can tell that somehow you are able to see almost what looks like torchlight flickering in just that few inches around your blade. But looking around and away from the blade, it is still pitch dark.
Pointing the great sword next to like the column next to that wall. Is there any kind of writing or any kind of runes inscribed on these walls?
Roll investigation. Looking at the walls, they're very old, very battered. Based on your travels and your military experience, you gather these walls are probably one of the oldest physical things that you've seen other than the Earth itself. As you're standing there and looking for the markings on the wall that you were hoping to see, you hear a voice. Novak, warrior of Cord. You stand now in a very dark place. And that is all you hear.
I think I'm gonna call out. Why have you sent me here?
It is not I who have sent you here. The stone that was placed in the grave is what brought you here. My question to you is, how strong is your faith?
My faith is as strong as I am.
Roll a dexterity save.
Oh no.
You see a flash of blinding light. A streak of blue lightning comes straight down through the top of your head, throughout your body, and in that brief moment that you can't see anything but a bright, blinding white light, your sword suddenly erupts into a brilliant blue light. Cutting the darkness for but the briefest of moments. In the time that the darkness is cut, you see that you are in what appears to be a very deep set of catacombs. Throughout the room itself, you see several bodies, bones laying on the ground, large stone, almost reptilian-looking creatures that don't appear to be moving, just standing on pedestals. You hear a low, rumbling breath, inhaling and exhaling. And with every breath, you hear a slight rattle of bone. The voice comes back into your mind. Your faith is as strong as you are. Do you wish to leave this place and rejoin your comrades? Do you believe that with your faith, you can do what must be done to save the town of Ascension? Continue on your journey and protect these people?
I know I can.
Make a strength saving throw. You feel movement underneath your feet. You hear a rumbling from over your head. In the briefest instant, you get this sudden feeling that you need to reach up. As your hand raises above your head, you feel a very large pressure pushing down on your arm. You take every ounce of your might and shove the thing that has just fallen off to the side, and hear a very loud crash. With the light from the blade, you see that what you just stopped was a large boulder that had fallen. The voice again in your mind. You have done well, my son. You have taken a direct strike of the lowest strength that I can produce. You have taken a boulder and thrown it away. You say that your faith is as strong as you are. You say that you know that you can handle the task at hand. Do you know what it is that you face?
I'm unaware of what I'm facing just yet, but I know I am prepared with your powers and blessing.
It is not only me that you should rely on. It is not only yourself. You must remember that above all, you should rely on those that you care about and those that care about you. You should rely on those that fight by your side. Your sword, your strength mean nothing without help. Do you understand?
I do.
I cannot always communicate with you like this. However, this particular moment, you are not ready for what is directly in front of you. The sword screams out a giant blue light again. Right in front of you, you see giant, bony claws grabbing at the opening that you were just trying to walk into. A head of bone attached to a spine. No flesh, no anything, just bone. Peers around the corner and looks you square in the face. You've heard only tales of these. You've never seen one in person. But what you see in front of you is a dragon made entirely of bone. It draws back its head as if to breathe flame. As its head begins to jut forward, dark curls of smoke rolling out of its nostrils in the skull, around its teeth. Suddenly, you're standing in the light. You're standing in the town of Ascension. Your feet are wet. You look down. You're standing in the fountain. You recognize where you are very quickly. You know that last you saw, your comrades were in the graveyard. It's quiet. It's calm. You still have this man on your shoulder. You feel tired. You feel weak.
When I got transported out, was it still loud and noisy and like a bunch of commotion, or was it quiet when I left?
When you got transported from the graveyard, the only noise that you were hearing was a faint a faint hollering coming from the docks and the conversation being had by the rest of your party.
And no one's around me here at the town?
Where you are standing, no. The only person that is with you is the man in blue.
And he's still unconscious, right? He's not moving around or anything yet?
Mm-hmm.
I might I'll probably head back to the graveyard.
Head back towards the graveyard. Okay. As you head back to the graveyard, you come in and you see everyone standing as they were when you left, as if no time had passed. They look very confused.
I'm gonna walk up to him slowly, I guess.
As you begin to approach, I need you to roll a perception check. Nothing seems out of the ordinary that you can tell, but none of them have noticed you.
I'm gonna just call out to him.
No response.
I think Charisma's the closest one to me. I think I'll just walk up to Charisma and call out to her.
As you walk up to Charisma and call out to her, you start to notice that she seems like she's trying to walk backwards, but she seems frozen in place.
Does she see me or no? Does she not seem to?
It doesn't seem that she's able to see you, no. As you're standing here, trying to figure out what is going on, you hear thunder in the distance. You hear rain. It starts to drip down on you. The rain. The clouds start to swirl overhead. The feeling of the rain is very refreshing. You feel your strength coming back. You don't feel as tired. You look up and let the rain hit you in the face, on the chest. As you start to be soaked down, the man that you were carrying on your shoulder slides off of your shoulder and falls into a heap on the ground beside you. You close your eyes for a moment, just taking in this small moment of respite, this small moment of relaxation and peace. You open your eyes, and in the sky, in the clouds, you start to see the clouds moving in such a way that doesn't make sense. It's very unnatural. You've never seen anything like this before. You've heard stories, you've seen pictures. And as the clouds start to form, it starts to seem very familiar. You see what has been idolized as the face of Cord appearing in the clouds above you. Where the eyes are on this face, you see streaks of blue lightning instead of actual eyeballs. And it seems that he's staring at you, or maybe through you.
Does anyone else notice this or just me?
Looking around, everyone else still seems to be frozen in place.
I'm gonna take a knee then.
As you take a knee, seemingly the face of Cord nods. Doesn't say anything, just nods.
I just bow my head, I guess, and respect to him.
Fair enough. You do so, and you feel that same warm pressure. This time not against your chest, but against your jaw. Almost like a father trying to raise his son's head. Lifts against your chin and pulls you almost into a standing position, tilting your head back to look up. That same voice that you just had in your head a few moments ago. Do you care about these people?
Of course I do.
Do they care about you?
I believe so.
Do you think that with them you could rise against the great evil in this land?
I fought next to him there. With their help, I know we can.
You see a smile appear on his face. He looks at you. The thunder stays, but the rain goes. You look around, and what wounds that the party seem to have had. The tiredness that you could see seems to almost evaporate. The face in the clouds begins to dissipate. The thunder starts to roll away. The voice comes into your mind once more. Go back to the gravestone. Kneel before the body of the man that you were just carrying, same as you were before you left. And wait. When the storm completely subsides, time will continue, and you will be before your friends. Make sure that whatever decisions you make from now on are for the best of not only yourself, but for those that you care about, and those that you believe care about you. The face completely disappears from the sky. The rain picks up just a little bit more. The thunder starts to subside. The rain starts to trickle down. as the few last drops of rain hit the ground. The party begins to come back too. And there you are, no longer soaking wet. The ground is dry beneath your feet, beneath your knees. It is as if the rainstorm had never happened. And that is where we are going to end that particular portion of this session. We'll be back in about a half an hour once everybody else is able to join us that is going to make it today. And hopefully you guys are looking forward to seeing how the rest of today plays out as much as I am. We'll see you guys here in about a half an hour. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, man.